Maybe if we can pick off some of the big parts of Vision 2030, tell me what he said. So privatisation?
Well, privatisation, the first thing is, like you said, Jennifer, it's very important for the Deputy Crown Prince to come out and confirm the reforms. From a privatisation point of view, the headline figure was that up to 100 Saudi or state-owned companies will be privatised in the coming period.
And did he say Did he say which sectors are the priority sectors? Is aviation now number one?
Aviation, I think, is widely understood to be
part of the transport sector. I think
part of the transport sector. He pointed out healthcare in particular, and he said healthcare.
Really?
And I think one of his quotes was, if you look across the world, good healthcare systems tend to be private. These were his words, albeit in Arabic. And I think, so he highlighted healthcare, highlighted transportation, and I think within that comes the aviation sector.
Besides, you've got one minister, the president of GACA is also the transport minister, so it's within that one.
So, and I think, like you said, it was a clear message to say, we've, at MEED here, we've written a lot, and a lot of other people, a lot of consultants around the world who've been tracking the Saudi story have talked about privatization across a number of sectors, but very important for the Deputy Crown Prince to come out and say, well, no, 100 companies will definitely be privatized in the coming period.
So when Vision 2030 was first unveiled in April 2016, I think the number that was bandied around was 146 entities were to be privatized. I think in the budget this year it was around 85 or something.
I think so, yeah. So they're playing with figures, ranging between 70 to 150, let's say.
Okay.
And it's difficult.
I guess they're going to go for the low-hanging fruit. Yeah. So Andrew Roscoe will join us in just a moment to talk about the electricity sector. But electricity, fairly simple. Airports, not simple but easier. And then healthcare seems to be another one. What about the ports? That's been another sector.
Well, he didn't mention the ports. What he did mention, actually, what he said, which was quite interesting, is that he seemed unhappy with the lack of investment the Saudi government was pumping into the logistics sector serving the Red Sea coast. This is one bit that he said he's going to focus a lot of investment on that area. So,
and the KAP, of course, the King Abdullah Port is the flagship
at King Abdullah Economic City in Rabigh.
Yeah, exactly.
So he talked about that.
No, he didn't talk about that. But he talked about the Red Sea serving, investing in the logistics sector along the Red Sea.
So he obviously knows what he knows. But to me, we have the Haramain high-speed railway, which links the holy cities, but goes to both Jeddah and the King Abdullah Economic City. We have the investment of Jeddah Airport, the expansion of Jeddah Airport. What's he talking about improving the logistics? Is it something new that we don't know about?
I'm not too sure, to be honest, and he didn't go into much detail about what and how he'll be
I think it might have to do because before this plan was generated, remember, if you step back 5-10 years ago, there was a plan to develop 12 economic cities, and that includes a big logistics investment because you want to build roads. If you're building industries, economic cities in those underserved regions, then you've got to have a port. They have to be served by a port, by roads, by airports.
Down at Jizan, we've seen investment from Aramco, for example.
Yeah, and although they have shifted from that big bang approach in terms of building economic cities, I think it's still vital to the economic diversification.